All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle a subject that, let's be honest, can sound a little intimidating, but it's actually the fundamental language of all business: accounting. Seriously, whether you want to launch your own company, manage a huge team, or just make sense of the financial world, this is where it all begins. So let's break it down.
Okay, I want you to really picture this. Imagine you're running a business, say a cool company that makes and sells jeans.
I mean, just think about a typical day. You've got sales coming in, some cash, some on a card. You have to pay your suppliers for all that denim. You've got weekly wages for some staff, monthly salaries for others. Then there's the rent, the phone bill, insurance. Oh, and let's not forget the government wants its cut for taxes. On top of all that, you've got to chase down the customers who haven't paid their invoices yet. It's a whirlwind. Without a system,
How do you know if you're actually making a profit or just spinning your wheels?
Now, here's the thing. The solution to sorting out all this chaos isn't about being a math wizard. Not at all. It's about learning to speak a completely new language. This is the language of business, and it allows you to take all those random, jumbled numbers and weave them into a clear story about what's really going on with your company.
So what is accounting really? Well, at its heart, it's the whole process of recording all that financial information, sure, but the magic is in the next two parts: interpreting it and then communicating it. The whole point is to give people the information they need to make smarter, better decisions. It's less about math and more about clarity and strategy. In the world of accounting, everything, and I mean everything, is built on 5 foundational words. You master these 5, and you're well on your way to becoming fluent.
First up, we have assets. The easiest way to think about this is it's all the valuable stuff your business owns or controls that's going to help you make money down the road. We're talking about the cash in your bank account, the delivery truck, those sewing machines for the jeans, even the invoices customers owe you. Simply put, it's what you have.
Next, we've got liabilities. This is pretty much the other side of the coin. Liabilities are what your business owes to other people. This could be a bank loan you took out to buy your equipment, or maybe the money you still owe your denim supplier for that last shipment. In short, it's what you owe.
Then there's equity. This is the owner's piece of the pie. It's what's actually left over for the owner if the business sold off all of its assets and paid back all of its liabilities. It represents the owner's investment, their stake in the company. It's what the business is truly worth to them.
Our fourth word is revenue, or income. This is the good stuff. This is all the money flowing into the business from its main activity. So for our jeans company, revenue is the money you get from selling those awesome jeans. It's the top line, the lifeblood of the whole operation. And number 5, expenses. You know that old saying, you gotta spend money to make money? Well, that's what expenses are. They're all the costs you have to pay to generate that revenue. We're talking employees' salaries, rent, the cost of the raw denim, your marketing budget. It's the cost of doing business.
Okay, so now we have our 5 key words. But what makes this language so powerful and so elegant is that it has one central, unbreakable rule of grammar. Think of it like a law of physics for business that ensures everything always stays perfectly in balance. And here it is. Assets equals liabilities plus equity. It's so simple, but it's the bedrock of everything. It tells a fundamental truth. All the stuff a company has, its assets, had to be paid for by one of 2 sources. Either with someone else's money, liabilities, or with the owner's money, equity. That's it. It always has to balance.
So let's look at this in action. Say a business has assets worth 180,000 Rand. Well, the other side of the equation has to tell us where that value came from. In this case, it came from 25,000 in liabilities, maybe a loan, and 155,000 in owner's equity. And what happens when you add those 2 together? You get 180,000. See? It perfectly balances, and every single transaction a business makes will always keep this equation in balance. It has to.
So, now we've got our vocabulary, our 5 key elements, and we have our golden rule of grammar, the accounting equation. We can finally start to use them to write the stories of a business. And these stories are what we call financial statements. They're the official reports that tell everyone exactly how the company is performing.
Now, it's super important to understand that these financial statements aren't just a random jumble of numbers. No way. They are carefully designed reports meant to give a clear, concise, and true summary of a company's financial health. Their whole reason for existing is to help people make better decisions.
And there are 2 main stories we tell. First, you've got the balance sheet. The best way to think of this is like a photograph. It's a snapshot of the company's financial position on one specific day. It asks, what do we own and what do we owe? And it uses those first three elements: assets, liabilities, and equity. Then you have the income statement. This is more like a movie. It shows you the company's performance over a period of time, like a month or a year. It asks, how profitable were we? And it tells that story using our other two elements, revenue and expenses.
While the income statement tells you how well the business performed over the last year, the balance sheet tells you its financial position at one specific point in time, usually the last day of that financial year. It's a snapshot, proving that the fundamental equation still holds true. Assets, liabilities, plus owner's equity on that specific day. The balance sheet lists all the assets the company owns at that moment, and then shows exactly how those assets are financed through liabilities, what it owes, and owner's equity, the owner's stake. That net income, calculated on the income statement for the period, it flows directly into the owner's equity section on the balance sheet at the end of that period. It increases the owner's stake. It all ties back. And our sources also mention a couple of other key statements we won't dive deep into today, but you should know they exist. There's the statement of cash flows, which is vital for tracking liquidity management, and the statement of owner's equity, which shows exactly how the owner's capital changed during the period: contributions, drawings, profit loss.
Okay, so this brings up a really important question. If we're going to all this trouble to create these detailed financial stories, who's the audience? Who is actually reading these things, and what are they trying to figure out from them?
Well, the audience is huge, and they all want something different. The company's own management reads them to make big strategic decisions. Potential investors read them to decide if they should buy shares. Banks and creditors read them to see if the company can pay back a loan. The government reads them to make sure the right amount of tax is being paid. And even employees will look at them to see how stable the company is and how secure their job might be. It's the same story, but everyone is reading it for a different reason.
And all of this leads us to the two main fields of accounting. You have financial accounting, which is all about creating those standardized reports for external users, the investors, the banks, the government. It has to follow super strict, standardized rules so that everyone is playing the same game. Then you have management accounting, which is all about providing customized information for internal users, the managers, to help them make day-to-day decisions. It's much more flexible and tailored to what the business needs right now.
So when you boil it all down, accounting isn't really about crunching numbers in a dark room. It's about storytelling. It's the language we use to describe success, failure, risk, and opportunity. So now that you know the basics of this language, the real question is, what stories will you be able to uncover?
Thank you for watching. Until next time, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. You can find other educational videos under this channel. Thanks again, from Kano Academy. Stay creative, stay curious, and stay connected.